Welcome back to my channel. In reggae's rich and vibrant history, there are figures whose influence is felt deeply, even if their names aren't always in the spotlight. These are the people who shape the music, the culture, and the legends from behind the scenes, working quietly but powerfully in the shadows. Jean Watt, lovingly known as Sister Jean, was one such remarkable force. Her story is woven into the very fabric of reggae, even if her face is less familiar than the stars she supported. For more than 50 years, she was the steadfast partner of Bunny Wailer, his confidant, his muse, and the anchor who grounded him through the dizzying heights of fame with the Wailers and the challenges of his solo journey. Their relationship was a partnership in the truest sense, built on trust, love, and a shared vision for a better world. Their bond began in the innocence of youth, growing up side by side in Jamaica's vibrant communities. Together, they forged a relationship that could withstand the pressures of fame, the turbulence of the music industry, and the personal trials that life inevitably brings. While Bunny Wailer's music inspired millions around the world, it was Sister Jean who created the sanctuary where those ideals and dreams could truly be lived. Their home was a place of warmth, reflection, and unwavering support, a refuge from the chaos outside. She never sought the spotlight for herself. Instead, she poured her energy into supporting Bunny's vision, quietly managing the details and keeping their home a place of peace, creativity, and love. Her strength was in her humility and her devotion. To truly understand Bunny Wailer, the man behind the music, you had to know Sister Jean. Her influence was subtle but immense, shaping his life and his art in ways that few could see, but everyone could feel in his songs. Her love was the quiet melody behind his anthems, the gentle rhythm that kept him steady through triumphs and trials alike. She was the heart of his home and the soul of his inspiration. But in May 2020, everything changed. Sister Jean vanished without a trace, leaving her family, friends, and the entire reggae world in shock and sorrow. Her disappearance created a void that could not be filled, a silence where her presence once brought comfort. The woman who had stood quietly by a legend's side for decades suddenly became the center of a heartbreaking mystery, one that continues to haunt those who loved her and those who cherish the legacy of reggae music. Sister Jean was more than Bunny Wailer's partner. She was a creative force, a quiet architect behind the scenes of reggae's golden era. Her influence extended far beyond the stage, shaping not only Bunny's public image, but also the very fabric of his music and message. In a world where women's contributions are often overlooked, Sister Jean's artistry and vision stood out, leaving an indelible mark on reggae history. She designed his iconic stage costumes, each stitch, bead, and color carefully chosen to reflect the spirit of the music and the culture it represented. These costumes became part of reggae's visual legacy, instantly recognizable symbols of a movement that reached far beyond Jamaica's shores. Her creativity brought vibrancy and pride to every performance, making each show a celebration of identity and heritage. As the matriarch of the Livingston family, Sister Jean raised Bunny's 12 children with warmth, wisdom, and unwavering love. She nurtured not just her own children, but an extended family of relatives and friends, offering guidance and support to all who entered her home. Her influence shaped generations, instilling values of respect, unity, and compassion. Her home was a haven, her kitchen a gathering place where stories were shared and traditions passed down. The aroma of her cooking drew family and friends together, and her presence unified the household, making everyone feel welcome and cherished. Within the reggae community, Sister Jean was respected for her humility, wisdom, and unwavering support. She offered encouragement to young musicians, shared her insights with established artists, and became a trusted confidant to many. Her gentle strength and quiet dignity earned her admiration across generations. Musicians and friends found comfort in her hospitality and her deep connection to reggae's roots. Her home was a sanctuary where creativity flourished, and her wisdom was a guiding light for those seeking inspiration or solace. Her Washington Gardens home became a cultural hub, alive with the spirit of the music. It was a place where rhythms echoed late into the night, where laughter and song filled the air, and where the legacy of reggae was celebrated and preserved. Sister Jean's legacy was built on daily acts of love and creativity, whether tending her garden, crafting by hand, or nurturing the next generation. Her life was a tapestry of kindness, artistry, and resilience, woven into the very heart of her community. Her disappearance left a silence felt across Jamaica's cultural landscape, The absence of her warmth and wisdom created a void that resonated deeply with all who knew her, and with those who cherished the music and family she helped shape. The woman who dressed a king and mothered a dynasty is now remembered with longing and a search for truth. Her story endures in the hearts of her family, the reggae community, and all who honor her enduring spirit. On May 23, 2020, Jean Watt, then 70 years old, vanished from her home in Kingston, Jamaica. It was a quiet Saturday, the kind of day that should have passed without incident, but for the Livingstons, it would become a day marked by confusion and heartbreak. Jean had been living with dementia for several years, a condition that slowly eroded her memory and sense of direction. She was deeply loved by her family, who provided her with constant care and attention, always mindful of her vulnerability. Every day was a careful balance of routine and reassurance, as her world grew smaller and more uncertain. That fateful day, Jean quietly slipped out of the house. In just a few moments, a woman who had been a fixture in her family's life was suddenly gone. Her absence was immediate and overwhelming, leaving behind only the echo of her presence, an empty chair, a forgotten shawl, a sense of something missing. The family's panic set in instantly. They rushed outside, calling her name, searching every corner of the neighborhood. Neighbors joined in, combing the streets and alleys, but Jean had disappeared without a trace. The minutes stretched into hours, each one filled with growing dread. With her dementia, the situation was even more dire. Jean could be lost, frightened, and unable to recognize familiar faces or places. The thought of her wandering alone, confused and vulnerable, haunted her loved ones. The search quickly became a desperate race against time. As daylight faded, anxiety grew. Every passing moment made the possibility of finding her safe seem more remote, and the family's fear deepened with each unanswered call. News of Jean's disappearance spread rapidly, sending shockwaves through the reggae community. Friends, musicians, and fans who knew her as Bunny Wailer's beloved partner were stunned and deeply concerned. The story dominated conversations, and her photo appeared on posters and in headlines across the city. The woman who had always been a steady presence in the background of Jamaica's music scene was now at the center of urgent news reports and worried phone calls. Her disappearance became a shared sorrow, uniting strangers in hope and concern. For the Livingstons, the day Jean went missing marked a turning point. The music that once filled their home was replaced by silence, fear, and grief. Every memory of her became more precious, every moment without her more painful. As the sun rose the next day, the search for answers had only just begun. The family, the community, and the authorities were united in one hope: to bring Jean Watt home. After Jean Watt's disappearance, Bunny Wailer's son Abijah led a relentless island-wide search. The family printed thousands of posters, plastering them across Kingston and beyond. Volunteers joined, combing streets and open lots, while a hotline and reward were set up for tips. Sightings poured in, but every lead ended in disappointment. Private investigators were hired, but even professionals found no trace. The trail went cold, and the family's emotional toll grew heavier with each passing day. Still, they refused to give up, fueled by love and hope. Their search became a public testament to their devotion. They walked the streets, put up posters, and appealed to the public, determined not to let her memory fade. The desperate search became a symbol of their unwavering love. Sister Jean's disappearance devastated Bunny Wailer, shattering the foundation of his life. The emotional shock worsened his already fragile health. Just 2 months after she vanished, Bunny suffered a second major stroke. The heartbreak and stress were believed to be direct causes. Hospitalized and weakened, the once mighty reggae icon was left a shadow of himself. His final months were marked by sadness, often calling out for Sister Jean. The home they shared felt empty, the joy replaced by silence. Bunny Wailer passed away in March 2021, never knowing what happened to the love of his life. His story and Sister Jean's became forever intertwined, a final, sorrowful chapter. Years of silence turned the Livingston family's grief into resolve. On the 5th anniversary of Jean Watt's disappearance, Abijah Livingston organized a protest outside the Criminal Investigation Bureau. Family, friends, and supporters gathered, holding placards demanding justice and action. Abijah spoke passionately to the media, expressing frustration with the stagnant investigation. The protest was a strategic move to pressure authorities and keep Sister Jean's case in the public eye. It marked a shift from hopeful searching to demanding accountability. The family made it clear they would not let her memory fade or the case be forgotten. Their calls for action grew louder, refusing to accept silence from the authorities. The Livingstons' protest was rooted in frustration with the police's passive handling of Jean Watt's case. They argued that classifying her as a missing person allowed the case to languish without real investigation. The family demanded a formal, high-level probe with dedicated detectives and a focus on all possible angles, including foul play. Abijah also called for a specialized missing persons unit, arguing that vulnerable cases need expert attention. Their fight expanded into a call for institutional reform to better protect Jamaica's most vulnerable. The family's demand was clear: treat Sister Jean's case with the seriousness it deserves. They were prepared to escalate their protest if ignored. Their frustration became a persistent demand for justice and accountability. With official channels stalling, the Livingstons turned to media and public awareness. In 2021, they released the documentary on YouTube, sharing her story and the family's search. The film sparked conversations about dementia, missing women, and the challenges families face. By 2025, it had over 33,000 views, serving as both memorial and call to action. Abijah used social media to keep the case alive, posting updates, memories, and appeals to the public and authorities. Their digital campaign ensured Sister Jean's story stayed in the spotlight. The family's media strategy became a modern fight for justice, refusing to let her become just another statistic. Their efforts kept hope alive and the search ongoing. As of July 2025, the mystery of Jean Watt's disappearance remains unsolved. No credible leads, no closure, only a deepening longing for answers. The family's determination, led by Abijah, has not waned. Their fight has evolved into a battle for justice and accountability, not just for Sister Jean, but for all missing and vulnerable people in Jamaica. Her case highlights the systemic challenges in law enforcement and the silent anguish of many families. The search for Jean Watt is ultimately a search for peace. The family hopes for answers, whatever they may be, to begin healing. Until then, they keep her memory alive and continue their quest. Sister Jean's legacy is one of love, resilience, and an enduring fight for truth. Jean Watt's story is more than a headline. It's a reminder of the power of community, hope, and perseverance. As we honor her legacy and the unwavering determination of her loved ones, we invite you to join this journey for justice and remembrance. Your voice matters. If this story moved you, help keep Sister Jean's light shining. Like this video, subscribe for more untold stories, and share it with your friends and family. Every share spreads awareness, every comment fuels the search, and every subscriber strengthens the call for answers. Together, we can make a difference, not just for Sister Jean, but for all families seeking closure. Thank you for watching and for being part of this ongoing quest for truth and hope.